Shalom, shalom. I want to give all power, honor, and glory to the Father and to the Son in the Paleo Hebrew tongue, the proper names. Kal Halayim La, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai Bahashem Ha, Racha Kwadash Ma'amath. A double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. A double honor to my elder, my elder apostle down here in Lions Den camp, as well as the bishop, Ahar Ben Yasharallah, and Chanak Sa'an Ben Yasharallah. A sincere thought to the Akim, the Akwathim, and the Bunyam, the brothers, the sisters, and the children who are pushing truth and believe with sincerity, thought and shalom. Khan. I'm just going down a little bit of a rabbit hole on my research. What prompted this was a video I saw on YouTube about it was Esau promoting some pill about get rid of some plaque in the body, and Esau being Esau, it was just so wicked. So I decided to look it up, and the pill was for this specific thing: oxidative stress. It's harmful. Is a harmful. Hold on. Oxidative. I said it right. Slakia. Stress is a harmful bodily state that happens when unstable molecules called free radicals outnumber the antioxidants able to neutralize them. And so that's when I had went into. I'm still recording. That's when I went to what is a molecule. Okay, and I found that a molecule is when two or more atoms are gathered together, and I did a lesson on that. And now this is saying that right here it says free radicals is the thing we got to look up now. So it says, what are free radicals? Unstable molecules. Okay, they are missing an electron. Electron thieves. To become stable, they steal electrons from nearby healthy cells, lipids, proteins, and DNA. This theft triggers a chain reaction that harms cell structures. All right. Now, as I'm reading this, I go into another thing and go to that. And this article from the UK about electrons, your body's hidden energy source. And I'm just kind of scrolling. It says electrons versus inflammation. One of the most important roles electrons play is keeping inflammation in check. When your body has inflammation, which is linked to nearly every chronic disease, you essentially have too many positively charged particles called protons. These create acidity and cellular stress. Electrons, being negatively charged, naturally balance these positive charges. This is why increasing your electron intake can help reduce inflammation throughout your body. Maybe think of this scripture right there. All right, this is 6, verse 25. It says, woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep, right? And it's funny because they're in people have chronic stress. It says chronic stress causes the cells to be positively charged because people are in a mindful state of mirth. All right, they're laughing now. They're in this place that constantly stimulates the senses, that constantly keeps your neurons firing. All right, that constantly corrupts your mind's eye. All right, and it says that it needs electron. Our body needs electrons so that way it can be in a calm negative state. All right, will balance ultimately. All right, and right now, spiritually, we're in a state of mourning because we know that this place is not our rest. All right, we know that this place isn't a place that we can truly relax in. So it does create stress, chronic stress. But that's why we have the word, in Kahalayim La Yahabashim Yahushua for allowing us to have the word, these scriptures and the leisurely time to read them. So that when we get it, let me go ahead and get it. All right, this is Proverbs chapter 3. I'm starting at verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, with all thy mind, and lean not unto thy own understanding. Right. Verse 6, in all thy ways acknowledge him, in all thy ways acknowledge the Lord. No matter how trivial, no matter how big, in all thy ways acknowledge him. Okay? And he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear Yahweh and depart from evil. It shall be health to thy navel, right? That's how we got nutrients as we were a babe in our mother's womb, and marrow to thy bones. And marrow is what's inside of our bones. Bone marrow is what it's called. All right. And marrow helps, not helps, but marrow creates blood for our body. And we need blood. We need everything in our body to survive. But blood. The most. I don't say the most. We need everything the most. But blood. It's cool. And so and it's a beautiful thing that our bones are as strong as they are, but also porous enough to create blood. The liquid flowing through us. And going back to the electrons, going back to that people being in a positively charged state, but they're being positively charged by a negative by a negative vibration. All right, this place, Egypt. All right, but we're the so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, are who are the Israelites, but even more so those of the fold of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the doctrine of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, taught to us by Apostle Hard going all the way down. Uh, this this word helps to calm us. All right, and helps to helps for us to gain that negative state. All right, not negative, negative like negative Nancy type shit, but allows us to calm. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and get that because I'm about to go to bed myself. Hold on. Con, this is Psalm chapter 4, verse 7. Thou hast put gladness in my heart, more more than in time that their corn and their wine increased. Oh, hold on. Let me hear Khan. This is OC Sons of Man Khan. So this is a song of King David. All right, verse 8. This is the main. Oh no, Matt. This is. I am going to read it, but this is. I'm going to look up the right one. I will lay. So like I will both lay me down and sleep for. Wow, this is the one on Salaki. Hold on, Khan. Here. This is Proverbs chapter 3. I'm gonna start at verse 21. The point is in 24. I'm gonna start at verse 21. Just give a little, little fluff, little good little context. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 21. My son, let not them depart from thine eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion. Right, and that's something we ought to be holding on to, discretion at this time, because there's a lot of there's going to be a lot more things kicking up. Elder Process camp, he put in a group chat, Nero declared a state of emergency due to the I think it was the blackouts. Well, no, it's like not the blackouts, the grid, how vulnerable it is. Verse 22, so shall they be life unto thy soul, unto our soul, that inner thing. All right, that inner thing. All right, people without knowledge of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua are only worried about the outside thing. Then I worry about your soul. All right, that inner energy. All right, and grace to thy neck. Ooh. And we think about gang got your neck. No, grace to thy neck. Verse 23. Thou shalt walk in thy way safely, and thy foot shall not stumble. Make sure we're walking in the fear of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. Verse 24 is the point. When thou layest down, thou shalt not be afraid. Yea, thou shalt lie down, and thy sleep shall be sweet. Right, and that's a lot of people don't have. There might be nights that we do toss and turn, but at the same time, we have peace when we go down to sleep. We're not worried about anything. All right. And a lot of individuals, um, I heard a lady at work, an adult, she's a woman, a grown adult. She was like, I can't do this. I had anxiety, and she was just like, I don't really be understanding that shit. I'm like, yeah, me either. But at the same time, I do understand it, because people are in a constant state of stress. So much so that on molecular level, it's eating away at their at their body. All right. So a matter of fact, let me go ahead and get that. This is Sirach. Well, this is Ecclesiastes, also known as Sirach, chapter 38, verse 24. It says, "The wisdom of a learned man come by the opportunity of leisure, and he that hath little business shall become wise." Hey, and that's nothing but time and what it was, a space and opportunity right there, man. We, of course, we have our day to day lives, going to work, taking care of our people, doing what we got to do to operate in this society. But at the same time, when we do sit down, when we do take a load off and kick our feet up and truly, lays about, or leisurely time, it's best to spend it with Yahweh Shem Shai, because there are going to become times where we won't have leisure time. All right, this society is collapsing. This society is crumbling as we speak. All right, and pretty soon, everyone is not going to have leisurely time, let alone to take a breather. All right, and we have the time and opportunity right now to really dive deep into these scriptures, so that way we can reverse the oxidization. Hold on, let me go back to it. Trying to reverse the oxidative stress in our body. All right, caused by unstable molecules that Esau done messed up with goddamn GMOs and all these other stuff that he be spraying in the sky with the chemtrails and stuff like that, So we got to work to reverse that, and just dive deep into the scriptures and the fasting and the prayer and to charity, going out there on the highways and byways, doing our lessons, reading. I already said fasting and prayer, but hey, fasting and prayer, shoot, hey, always pressing towards that mark. We can't be perfect in the flesh like Yahushua was, but we can be perfect in faith, truly believing on Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. All right. Because he showed that he believed. Yahushua showed that he believed. All right. And we have to show that we believe in Yahweh as well. Show that we believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua as well. All right. So I pray and hope that this lesson was edifying. Shalom.